The man abandoned Teresa and their children without an explanation, leaving them, from one moment to the next, alone to face the difficulties of life. But why had he come to this? Before we get into the story, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next exciting stories. Enjoy. Teresa was a strong and determined woman. Coming from a traditional family and raised with solid values, she had always dreamed of a quiet and happy life. When she met Federico, a kind and caring man, she believed she had found the perfect companion to share her life with. The man, with his cheerful nature and dedication to his family, seemed like the ideal match. Together, they formed a large family, blessed with 6 children who filled their home with laughter and love. Her life was full of commitments and responsibilities, but also moments of joy. Raising 6 children was not an easy task, but she faced every challenge with a smile and an enviable strength. The days were marked by frantic races between school, household activities, and moments of tenderness with the children. Federico, for his part, worked hard to support his family, but over time, the economic pressures began to weigh more and more on his shoulders. The situation became even more complicated when Teresa's sister became seriously ill. On her deathbed, she made one last request: to take care of her 3 orphaned children. The woman, her heart full of pain but also determination, accepted without hesitation. However, this decision had a devastating impact on Federico. The idea of welcoming 3 more children into their already large family made him feel overwhelmed and unable to handle the situation. The arguments between Teresa and Federico became more frequent and heated. He was reluctant to adopt his grandchildren while she firmly defended her decision. "I can't just abandon them," she said with unshakable conviction. The tension between the two increased to the breaking point. Federico, unable to cope with the pressure and responsibilities, began to take refuge in alcohol and evenings spent out with his friends. Teresa, despite Federico's increasingly distant and unrecognizable behavior, continued to fight to keep the family together. Every day was a battle, but her love for her children and her determination supported her. Her inner strength was admirable, and even in the darkest moments, she managed to find a way to move forward. She began to think about how she could transform her passion for cooking into a source of income to support the family. Federico was increasingly consumed by worry and a sense of failure. Every attempt by his wife to discuss ways to contribute financially to the family was met with criticism that undermined his confidence. The tension in the home was palpable, and the older children began to realize the gravity of the situation. A few months after the arrival of his grandchildren, the situation finally worsened. The man, unable to bear the pressure any longer, took a drastic and cowardly decision. He abandoned the woman and their children without looking back. The man's departure left the woman devastated. The pain of abandonment was immense, but her determination not to let the circumstances overwhelm her was even stronger. She decided to put into action the plan that had always been in her heart, to transform her passion for cooking into a business. With the help of her children, she began to test recipes for sweetbreads and other delicacies, transforming their home into a laboratory of flavors and aromas. The older children joined their mother in this venture, helping her prepare and sell the products. The local community, touched by the girl's story and her strength, began to support their cafe with enthusiasm. Every customer who entered the cafe not only bought delicious products, but also a piece of the story of determination and love that she and her children represented. The bar became a success, and over time the family was able to move into a new, more spacious and comfortable home. The children, raised with Teresa's solid values and unconditional love, stood out for their exemplary education and determination to pursue their dreams. Many of them obtained scholarships and incentives to continue their studies, paving the way for a promising future. 20 years later, the children decided to celebrate the life of the woman they loved so much by organizing a big lunch in the cafe with friends and family. It was a moment of gratitude and joy where they could look back and recognize how much they had overcome together, but no one imagined what was about to happen. Federico, after years of loneliness and suffering, decided to seek redemption. After being abandoned by his lover and facing a series of personal difficulties, including his addictions, he realized how much he had lost. In a moment of clarity, he found the courage to return to the family he had abandoned. As he approached the bar, his heart pounded in his chest. He didn't know what to expect, but he was determined to ask for forgiveness. He stopped in front of the bar, watching the scene through the window. If you like the story, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks! The man saw his children, now adults, laughing and talking to each other. Each familiar face was a painful reminder of lost time and wasted opportunities. With a lump in his throat and a heavy heart, he entered the bar. Everyone turned to look at him, and a tense silence fell over the room. Teresa, incredulous, approached him. "Federico, what are you doing here?" she asked in a voice that betrayed a mix of surprise and pain. With tears in her face, she began to speak. "I know the past cannot be changed, and I may not even deserve your forgiveness, but I need you to know how much I regret my actions. Please accept my apology." The children, initially incredulous, looked at each other. Some of them were ready to give their father a second chance, while others were more reluctant. With patience and determination, the man began the difficult journey of rebuilding family ties. He committed himself to fighting his addiction to alcohol, seeking professional help and family support. Little by little, he began to reap the benefits of his changes, experiencing the real pain of the distance his actions had caused. As time passed, and with an open heart, Federico finally found the forgiveness he so desired. He realized that the real gift was not only being forgiven, but having the opportunity to rebuild the bonds with those he had hurt so much. During our journey in life, we encounter many challenges and obstacles. It is crucial to nourish faith and determination. Running away from our problems will never lead to a solution, as the consequences of our choices will always be with us. We can draw inspiration from Teresa's strength and perseverance, prioritizing love above all adversity. Instead, what would you have done in the woman's place? Would you have forgiven Federico?